Hello guys, TAFHG here and welcome back to another video, and today I'll be showing you what I've done to my main PC. Now last time, if you remember, I took the liquid cooling out of this and made it an air-cooled computer, and I said I would film and document the whole process of moving it into a new case. This is the new case. This is the Antec P101. Used this before and I am now using it again, and there were some technical difficulties with that whole process, so I don't have a video to show for the transfer, but it is now in this case, and today I'll be showing you around what I've done. So that is pretty much what we're going to do. I'm going to show you what I've done and everything that is now going on in here. So I guess we can start just by looking at it from the outside, and I do again apologise for not showing the process of transferring the cases. There is some footage, not a lot, because my camera was having issues and I was having issues. It was a big thing. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I've done in today's video. So let's start with the front. One thing I really like about this case is the opening door on the front. 3 fans in there, and I have put an optical drive in it. One thing I didn't like about the Be Quiet case I was using is that I had to use an external optical drive. I know it's very old-fashioned to even want an optical drive now, but I do want one, and I do now have one in here. I was going to use a LightScribe drive out of the HAF-X, however that drive just would not work in this computer, and strangely this drive would not work in that computer, but it works in this one, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but this drive does work in here. Let's close up the door and spin it around to take a look at the back. And another thing I like about this is the fact there is no side window. That helps with keeping it quiet, and also it means I don't have to worry about the cables, so that is always good. Now here is the back of the machine. Hopefully that is in focus, and you can see I've got an I/O shield in here. Before I didn't have the I/O shield in. That's because I simply could not get it to fit. Somehow it managed to fit in here, and it looks so much cleaner for that. As you can see, my graphics card is down here. This is the RX 580 still. I'll go through the specs when I take the side panel off in case you've forgotten. But there's my RX 580, and we have an extra 4 USB 3 ports. That's just on a PCIe card. I used to have that in this computer. It spent some time in the HAF-X, and now it's back in here because I do have a lot of USB devices, and I do actually use all the USB ports, including these ones. I could do with some extra ones, but I don't know if I've got enough expansion ports, because I do have something else to go in another one of these bays that we'll be looking at in the next video. And then I only have one other PCIe slot available. I think that's there. And I'm not sure I want to use that for USB ports or a RAID card at some point, or a SATA card. So that's something I'll have to think about when it happens, but that's not the point of this video. So let's spin this thing around and now take a look at the inside, because I think it is quite a decent looking machine in here. And there we are. It's quite dusty because it spent a lot of time with its side panel off, but here it is. Of course, air cooling is here. Now if I did want to put water cooling in here, I'd have to make sure the pipes were long enough first to reach to the front, and that would mean I'd have to sacrifice some of the hard drive bays, and the main point of this case is the hard drive bays, so that would seem a bit stupid if I took some out. I could have a single 120 radiator in the back, but that's kind of a bit crap, and I already had a 240, so not using that and buying a smaller one would seem a bit stupid. And I thought air cooling would be the way to go anyway, so that is indeed what I've done. So let's just start from the top. There is my optical drive. As you can see, we have 8 hard drive bays, 4 are currently occupied. We have these 2 that have all my personal documents on them, SSD with my games on, and then a backup drive that backs up the Windows install on here. The install of Windows is on an NVMe drive, which is of course in the motherboard. What I am planning on doing is getting another 2 of these drives. These are both 4TB Iron Wolves. Planning on getting another 2 of those, putting them in RAID, so everything on one is on the other, everything that's on the other is then on the other as well, just for a little bit of redundancy, because this motherboard does have built-in RAID. So that might be something I do in the future, but for now we just have 4 drives in here, and we do have 4 more for expansion, so that is pretty good. So in here in total we have 4 8 terabytes there, another terabyte with the 2 SSDs, and that's a 500. So we've got like 9-ish terabytes, I guess. I've got some external drives as well, but they don't count. And yeah, so I do have more expansion, looking to populate 2 of those more soon for redundancy. Then I've got another 2 when I need more storage as well. Moving over, of course, there's the air cooling. As I said, this is the Arctic A35CO, I think it's called. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but I think that's right. And that is mounted to my motherboard, which is the Asus Prime X470, I think, or something like that. My processor is a Ryzen 5 3600 non-X. Didn't want to pay the extra for the X, and this is perfectly fine. 6 core, 12 threads, does everything I need it to. I don't do anything particularly demanding on this computer. Don't do video editing on it, don't really play games anymore. I just pretty much do web browsing and that's it, because I'm very busy these days and I don't really have much time to use the computer. But this does everything I need from a Windows machine, so it's doing great. No need to upgrade, but I know that if I do need to, I can put pretty much any AM4 processor in here and we will be good to go. My graphics card is another thing which is kind of a bit old and outdated, I suppose, the RX 580. It is the 8GB one though, not the 4, that would be worse of course. But again, does everything I need it to. It handles both of my 4K monitors just fine. As I said, I don't really do gaming anymore, but when I do, this can play Minecraft in 4K just fine. Forza Horizon 1440p at 60 FPS just fine. I have no complaints with it. It does everything I need it to, and that's the important thing. RAM 16GB, it's the Vengeance RGB Pro. Don't have the RGB on anymore because I don't have a side panel, so that doesn't matter. But when I used to have a side panel, that was pretty cool. And if you can see down there, there is my USB card too, just chilling in there, taking up one of my slots. And yeah, I was right, I've got 2 more accessible PCIe slots. One of them will be populated in the next video, and the other one I'm not too sure what to do with it yet. But yeah, that is honestly pretty much all there is to see. So I know this wasn't really a video where anything happened. I just wanted to give kind of an update about this machine and what has gone on with it. And I just wanted to let you know that it has indeed moved into the new case, and I am very happy with it. This is a lot more practical than it used to be in the other case. It now lives under my desk instead of on it, so it's not bending my desk as much. And of course, I can fit 8 hard drives in here, an optical drive, and it's honestly just great. And there's 2 more SSD bays on the back of the case if I wanted to. Now I have nearly used up all the SATA ports on this board, so I will need a SATA card. So I'm guessing that's what I will use one of the PCIe slots for when I need to. But for now, this is great as it is, and I'm very, very happy with it. On the top we have 2 USB 3s, 2 USB 2s, audio in and out. And we have the fan controller speed settings, so I can have the fans off, slow or high. I just have them on slow all the time because that is ample cooling for this machine. We've got 3 fans in the front, 1 in the back, and that is honestly great. This case has no top ventilation for keeping it quiet, because that's the whole point of this case. It's meant to be practical and quiet. It isn't called the Silent Guardian for nothing, and this is genuinely my favourite PC case, I think. The Half X is cool and massive, but this is just civilised, I suppose. It doesn't really show off about what it is. It's very good at what it does, and it doesn't yell about it, and that's kind of why I like it. And that's what I've always liked about computers like this. They are just subtle while getting the job done, and I like that. There's no flashy lights on it. The USB ports do light up white, but that's kind of classy and cool. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy with this now. It's a lot quieter than it used to be, not having the liquid cooling and just being a bulkier case with sound dampening on the inside. So yeah, I'm just really, really happy with this, and the computer now seems like what I always wanted it to be. I wanted it to just be a computer that worked and did what I needed it to do, and now I feel like it is that, because I don't hear it, I don't have to see it, and there's less to go wrong with it because there's no liquid in here. So yeah, it just does what I need it to without me having to worry about it. So I'm very, very happy with it indeed, and I think that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. This was just an update to show what was going on, and the next video will also be about this machine when we're adding a PCI card. So thank you again for watching. Hopefully this was interesting just to see what has happened with it, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. So thank you again, and I will see you then. Goodbye.